clear to play. MiniWarGaming, speed, the cooler, bat rep.
We come into Tau turn 3. We're rolling to get our other ion cannon flyer in, but I actually fail, so he does not show up. And now I'm rolling the leadership check to get these guys out of here, as well as the dangerous terrain. So they come flying out of the objective here, and one of them did take a wound from previous fire, or from the last round of shooting. So there was rather, he took a wound coming out of the water there. Then they rolled their leadership, and that's how that happened. So they're good. This tank flies over and just kind of sits on the objective. The Enuva moves up, but then I remember, because some of them are in dangerous terrain, or difficult terrain, I have to roll for difficult. I think I move a few of them up and then I move them back, or something along those lines. Yeah, there we go. Now looking at this, they only move up 3 from what I rolled for the difficult terrain, and we made a mistake here, because I do believe that I move the guys that are in the terrain 3 and move everyone else normally, thinking that it's model by model. Oh no, never mind, I did it right. So I do bring those back, and we're good here. Just went to make sure, gotta read those rules, make sure we're not doing everything wrong. But anyway, the Fire Warriors, they move up in one nice pile, nice deep clump, because the big thing with his AoEs, the big thing with his blasts and flamethrowers is dead now, so thankfully that's not going to be coming after them once again. And they just kind of spread out. I piled a whole bunch of them up by this window, because they have a line of sight through that window at the Grey Knights who are in the building across from them. And so I want as many of them that can shoot as can be, while the rest of them move up around the other side of the building. It's weird with the big units though, because you always want to line up your shots, but there's so many of them that not all of them can get in. But at the same time, you want to shoot like 12 of them at one unit and 12 at the other, but I found them fun to use. The Hammerheads, they all just kind of shimmy around, lining up a few shots. These guys start by markering the Grey Knights, and they get 6 marker lights on the Terminators there. Then we shoot a large blast from the Commander there, I believe, which gets a direct hit. And we do a couple wounds here. Yeah, oh, it was for the other 2 guys there. And then now we roll wounds for the rest of them. And it's wounding on 2s, I do believe. Oh no, my mistake. Yeah, this is definitely the Relay's large blast. So it's not very strong, but it is rending, which is what I was hoping for. So he's got to make his 5-up, and then he has Feel No Pain. So he actually fails 2 and loses one of the Terminators. And then the other guy has his 2-up save, which he fails, but he makes his Feel No Pain. And this back unit, he makes his saves without much problem. And he's got his 2-ups, and he's fine. But yeah, it's only strength like 4, but it has rending, which can easily kill guys. This large blast, it scatters 4 inches off, but because I aim for the middle guy, it does still clip a few, which unfortunately you can't see on the camera there, but it got Drago in one of the Terminators. So hopefully we can get one more wound here. So the Drago and the Terminator, they each take a wound, which he has a 2-up and then a 5-up, so he's okay. So Drago's fine. This guy's actually fails, but he has his 5-up, so he's okay. Then we move on to the next model, because we have so many of these. Now I'm shooting my hammer, or my broadsides, who are getting increased, or reducing his cover save that little bit, and they do 2 wounds easily. So he's a 5-up, or he is instant killed, so no Feel No Pain against these shots. Now he's just having a bit of a debate here whether he wants Drago to look out sir or not. And so the first guy fails, and the second guy, he passes. So only one of them gets exploded, but still, killing a paladin in one shot is always nice to see. These Fire Warriors, they get their shots boosted and just going all out for it. So they only hit on 2s, and then they wound on 3s. And 4 do not. So I get a good solid 6 wounds. In theory, he should fail 1, and he does. And then he has a 1 in 3 of passing, and he fails it. So he does take another wound, which is excellent to see. And I believe that is on Drago there, or it's on the unit behind him, sorry, because they're not connected yet, because he deep striked separately than them. And now we're firing some more Fire Warriors. These are just hope shots, pretty much. This is at the Space Marines on the far side. I'm just tapping the 1 there, because I know as soon as Anuva dies, everybody's going to get to reroll those ones. And he does fail 1 save, so one of the Space Marines over here gets killed, and he's down to 3. Good stuff there, but he passes leadership, so he doesn't have to break. Now, these guys, they have to pass the leadership because they're not fearless, and they pass. And then the battle suits, they move again. They get to move 4 inches, and I just kind of shimmy behind the wall and into the Feel No Pain. And so they'll have to do dangerous terrain checks, each of them. And we're good, and we're good. Oh, there we go. There we go. So, Grey Knight turn 3 begins, and things are looking pretty good for them. Frankly, the tower not killing those guys as fast as I would have liked, and both of his flyers are going to just destroy my tanks now, so hopefully we can dodge, or he'll just be unlucky, which you can hope for that. He'll hopefully be unlucky. But now Drago moves up, and he now is joined by the rest of these Terminators, so he can take the brunt of the railgun shots, because even though he still won't get Feel No Pain, well, he'll get Feel No Pain against the small fire, but he's Eternal Warrior, so he won't get killed. We just look in here because on one side of the building, the Great Tau Leader is moving up, and on the other side of the building, the Grey Knight Leader and his little posse are moving up. And he was planning out his move right now, so we were just looking around. And then I've got my other commander, who's my actual HQ, looking at both of them. I got nothing to say about that. Anyway, moving up, the rest of the Grey Knights move up, advancing through here, making sure that he's not in the woods. He says he's not touching it. He didn't intend to touch it. He just wants to move next to it. So that's fine. Moves his Grey Knights up along the side. These guys, they do their difficult terrain just to try and move a little bit, and he wants to get this guy inside of the building. Now he shoots his multi-melta at my tank, hitting on a 3, so he re-rolls, and he hits. 2d6 pen, does a pen, 5 up, jink, nope, damage, 4. No, it's a 5, weapon destroyed, so it loses its burst burst cannons. And now he shoots his las cannon at the other tank, and I fail my jink there, and he just cannot move or shoot. Next shot is a las cannon from the tank at my tank, hits. And once again, he does fire his missile launcher as well, but we had forgotten that it was destroyed. And it doesn't do anything, but I fail my jink and take another glance. So he goes down to 1 hull point left. Now he's shooting the other end of the board, his other multi-melt at this tank, who fails to jink as well, and then fires his las cannon, or he only rolls 1 for damage, which means he can't move or shoot. Now he shoots his las cannon at the other one, which hits, and does a glance, but I make my cover save. Now he shoots all of his guys at the back there. First he's firing his side cannons, who are the last ones alive, of course, and I make a couple of my saves because I go to ground, so they actually all make their save, having gone to ground because they're on the other side of a building. So they've gone to ground there, and they make their saves. Now he's shooting bolt guns and his rending big gun at the guys behind the wall there, the battle suits. Now I made a mistake here as well, or rather, I made a mistake here that because he moved, he shouldn't have gotten the stealth and shrouded. I read that he had it in his rules, but I didn't realize that it was only if he stayed still in the previous phase. So it would apply on turn 1 because you hadn't moved yet, but at this point it should not have applied, so he should have taken a wound right there. Which you'll see whether that makes a big difference, but that is a mistake. If you bring him, he only benefits Shrouded and Stealth if he stands still in the previous phase. Which makes sense in a way, because it's kind of like he's slowly cloaking, and then when he moves, it gives him away. He's got a whole Predator vibe to him. Anyway, that's the end of Grey Knight turn 3 there. It was just a couple pot shots. Didn't really do anything at the end, if you were wondering what was going on there. But definitely getting close. That giant hulk of Terminators is closing in, and there's not a lot the space or the Tau can do about it. But we do have Anuva and his blob of fire, highly trained elite fire warriors, and the 2 railguns sitting in the back there just hanging out. So stay tuned for part 4. That's what I wanted to say. Happy wargaming.